Welcome back, thanks for coming. I am very excited to bring you a video today of a comparison between two Chinese made Flieger style watches. I wanted to do comparison because these two vary in price by about £100. The one on my left is a Corgeut from AliExpress, got this £57 delivered, and it took about 2 weeks. This one took a lot longer, it took a month, but I got this direct from Saint Martin, and this is one of their this is the Type B dial, and it's got a Ronda Swiss quartz movement, and this one has got a mechanical manual wind movement. So first thing I want to do is start with the watch on the left, the Corgeut, and give you a quick rundown of what you get for your money. And so when we draw a comparison to the one from Saint Martin, you can see what you're getting and why it's sometimes worth paying the extra. So without further ado, here we go. On the left we have the Corgeut. This is a 44mm case and has a homage seagull movement in the back, which is manual wind. Keeps really good time. I've had this a few weeks now, and what you get for your money is this quite nicely decorated movement. You see, excuse my focusing, there we go. And the downside with a few of the things it came with was no packaging. The strap it was on, which is identical to this one to a degree, the strap is not very good, quite cardboardy finish, not very attractive in terms of the details, and the buckle is quite poorly finished and oversized. So I bought online for about £6 a brand new one. Sorry, focus, come on. From Gikota. I love their straps. It's got gorgeous quality. Got this for £6. Can't believe it. Brand new. So lovely and soft, and worn in it really suits it. So spec wise, you get a manual wind movement, you get a sapphire coated glass, and you get a little bit of lume on there. Water resistance, I'd say, is pretty much zero, and I'll show you why in a second. And so for 60 quid, that's what you're getting. It's a bit of a fun watch, I suppose. You can't take it too seriously for that kind of money. So I'll start with the moans and niggles. There's play here on the crown, and that's because there's a bit of play between the movement and the case. The case finishing's okay. There's a few rough points here. There's very sharp pieces here by the lugs. It's a little bit rough here, finishing on the edge here between the glass and the case. Just feels like it's not been honed at all. And when I first got the watch, it didn't have very good finishing underneath the glass. It had lots of bits and specks, and even had a smudge underneath it. So I had to clean all that. And if I wasn't in the mindset or have the tools to take a watch apart, I'd be quite disappointed buying a watch that's brand new and looked a little bit rough around the edges. But you know, I was positive. I thought I can do a bit of work on this and give it a quick clean, take it apart. And I always enjoy taking watches apart. And I got to see why there's play in the movement when you pull the crown. It's because there's a brass spacer ring in there, and it doesn't quite, it's not perfectly machined, which you don't expect for this kind of money. So it doesn't hold everything all together perfectly tight. The lume is average, and then there's no anti-reflective coating at all on that glass either. These are all things you were going to sacrifice to get a price of £50 to £60 delivered all the way from China. But the positives are, it looks gorgeous, it keeps really good time, it's very comfortable, it's lightweight, and I'd say that's enough to keep it as a fun watch for this kind of money. So in summary, give them a go. Corgeut, Flieger style watches. They do lots of other types of watches, but I was drawn to this because I'd seen other reviews and I was like, you know what, that looks really nice for the money. I'll give it a go. And I also heard good things about Saint Martin. Now this came in a bit of a different story. This came in a nice case like this. So it's average quality. It's just a bit of plastic, but it was fun. It's just different. So you, when I first got it, I had to pop all these bits open, and I opened it up, and I was greeted with a filled-in guarantee card, a tag, and then there was the watch itself on this strap here. pretty good NATO, to be honest. This is actually, I'd say, being really pedantic, it's partly Zulu, I'd say, because of these rings. Normally a NATO has the smaller keeps and has less rings. This has got double ring here, double, and then 2 rings here, and they're all rounded. But the finishing of it's lovely. You know, all the these keeps here, these rings on the strap are really good. Slightly rough on the holes. You can see there, I haven't used this strap, it's just, you can see there, it's, as brand new. It's got a few sort of slightly coarser edges. If you run your finger down there, it just feels a bit rough. And I've had straps on for, again, from my people I really like at Watch Gecko, and their straps, they just feel so smooth in quality compared to what you can get. But it's not bad. I'd say I've seen a lot worse. So moving on, I'll put it on this strap. So it's difficult to say, in fairness, you know, this strap is not part of this package, so I'm not going to include the strap in my judgments on this watch, because I've put this on because I felt it was more in keeping with the design. It's a vintage looking watch. I mean, the Flieger style came from World War II, Flieger or Flieger, depends how good you are at pronunciating. It's German for flight, which effectively these were flight watches for pilots during the war. They were designed to be very clear and easy to read, and very legible, and just at a quick glance you can tell the time, which I feel these both do very well. And there's 2 different takes on it. There are slight variations as well. You can get the on the Type A's, you can get these with the sub-seconds in different places around the dial, often at 6 o'clock as well. I've seen them with on the pinion second hand, so you don't have a sub dial. I've seen even the Type B with at the 6 o'clock a sub-second. So there's slight variations of the theme. I went for these 2 because these are the most popular versions, I would say, of Type A and Type B, in my opinion. So moving back to the Saint Martin, I went for the Type B because I used to have a Seiko SNK, one of the most affordable automatic watches, and the thing I liked about it was that they do it with this sort of Type B dial. But the things that bugged me about that watch was it was a tiny bit smaller than this. The Hardlex crystal was not good, scratched really easily. It's supposed to be fairly scratch resistant, but I wasn't impressed. It didn't keep good time. It wasn't that good, and the crown was awkward to use and adjust. It didn't have manual wind. It didn't have hacking, anything like that. But that's what you get for your money. But for the same amount of money, I bought this. Even though this has a quartz movement, I'm going to run through the positives of what you get with this over something like the Seiko for the same money. Because I'm going to start with the front here. First of all, the loom on this is the best loom I've got on almost any of my watches. I'm going to see if I can demonstrate that for you now. This is in ambient light. Look at that popping there. And right now, I can see this popping even when I'm outside in the daylight. It just seems to have this constant glow about it, and it's just so lovely and clear. It's got anti-reflective coating on it. So when I'm outside, I can see at any angle. It is so legible and really clear. And that is a real plus. This is genuine sapphire. The finishing there is so smooth, whereas on this, as I said before, it's coarse there. That's been smooth there. The brushing on it is absolutely perfect. It is immaculate. It's incredible. Even these points here, they've been gently finished, so they're not razor sharp like they are on this one. Screw down crown. The crown action for unscrewing is so smooth. It's got a lovely feel to it, and this is a quartz movement, so it's doesn't have manual wind for me to demonstrate that. But the reason why I went for quartz is I've got 4 automatics in my collection already, and I thought I just wanted a quartz because They more reliable. There's no servicing costs. You can leave them, not worry about, oh, they're going to die. You're going to, have to manually wind it and top them up again and readjust the time and the date and everything. This is a sort of love it and leave it kind of watch, which I like. It's pick it up and off you go. There's something I'm going to jump into now, which I've had this watch just today, and the only moan and niggle I can find on it is as follows. Check out the seconds hand. It's barely banging on the lines, which if you're really OCD, which fortunately I'm not too bad on that kind of thing, that doesn't bother me because it's actually keeping a really good time today so far. It's what you'd hope for a quartz watch. In time I'm going to see how well it keeps its time, to see whether it even matters that it doesn't line up perfectly when it's clicking on each second, as you can see. So that's moany moans and niggles so far. Jumping back onto the all the other positives, it's a lovely size. It's just, I'd say it hits a sweet spot for a watch for me personally. So it's pretty much 39mm, which it sits so nicely on the wrist, and these curved lugs are absolutely perfect. This, on my 7-inch wrist, it contours absolutely perfectly to my wrist, so it just feels so comfortable. And not having a rotor flapping around in there means you don't have any sort of any wobble or anything coming from the watch itself when you're wearing it. It just melts onto your wrist, which is lovely. You just want that sometimes. You just want to chuck a watch on, enjoy it, not feel like it's rattling away on there, and it's not big and clunky. It's lovely and thin because it's a quartz as well. It's only 11mm. It's really thin. And it's apparently got 200 meters water resistance. I wouldn't test that, but for a pilot style watch, it's also mildly irrelevant. But I feel reassured with the kind of finishing you get on this watch, and seeing it is a extremely well made product. I would have a bit more faith in its water resistance compared to this, which I think with its wobbly bit here, I think water would get in there quite easily. But I'm not planning to get these too wet anyway, hence with the leather straps, and they are pilot style watches, so when I'm in the mood for feeling like a aviator, I'll put one of these on. But yeah, this lume, the C3 Superluminova apparently, and it's 12 layers according to the info on their website. So that explains why Saint Martin watches have such powerful looms. They really go the extra mile with good quality lume and lots of it. So that's what you're paying for. Anti-reflective coating on genuine sapphire, extra finishing on the case, etc. Pay a little bit more. You get this with an NH35 Seiko movement, which is a fairly decent workhorse movement apparently. I haven't had experience with these movements, so I can't speak from experience, but from what I hear in the watch reviewing world, if you will, is that they are a good movement. But this is a Ronda quartz movement, which you can't go wrong really. I mean, they're really reliable and very accurate, Swiss made. And I'd say there's my comparison of the two, of what you get for your money. About £150, but you might have to wait a while buying direct from Saint Martin, especially at the moment with things as they are, unfortunately. It's worth the wait though. It's we've all got a little bit more time on our hands, I think, at the moment. So yeah, they both came from China. This came from AliExpress from China. £57 delivered. This one, including customs charges, etc., is about 150, 160. So pretty much £100 more. But I would say it's worth paying the extra for this watch here. I fell in love with it straight away. I was blown away by the finishing and the quality. And I'd say the spec as well is pretty good for the money. It's amazing. So to summarize and complete this video, I'd say if you can afford the extra £100, treat yourself to a Saint Martin pilot's watch. If you want a bit of fun, I want to have both, you can't really go wrong with the Corgeut. Keeps good time. I'd say it's pretty. Change the strap if you wanted to. It's not very expensive, and yet I still love looking at a manual wind movement, even if it is an homage one, even if it is cheap. It's still lovely to see that lovely thing moving away there. The balance wheel's gorgeous. So yeah, and it's fun to wind a watch. It's old school. That's how it used to be. All these watches back in the day used to be manual wind. Yeah, you can't go wrong. So, really hope you've enjoyed this video. Kind of just lashed it together quick because I was so excited because I got this today. I hope I've given you a bit of an impression. Saint Martin, good start. I think I'm going to buy some more. I'm really impressed. Corgeut, not bad, bit of fun, but I will be selling this. That's staying in the collection. I adore it. So if you like this video, I really welcome comments. If you have any questions, please feel free. And till the next time, bye for now.